Hello. Oh, hello. Yes. Let's hope this microphone works, otherwise I have to scream. So this, on behalf of GPH, I'm Jan van Ferre, CFO of GPH. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us here at Seatrade Miami. We're excited today to present some of the investments we have made over the last year, with a particular spotlight to St. Lucia. The beautiful video which is showing is taken from the cruise port of St. Lucia. But I'll leave it to Lance to talk about more of the details of St. Lucia. Before we begin, we are honored to welcome two very special guests from St. Lucia today. First, Julien Alfred. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an Olympic champion among us. That's an applause. St. Lucia's 100-meter Olympic champion. Congratulations. Her incredible achievement at the world stage, that's the spirit of excellence and dedication which also GPH brings to St. Lucia. Equally honored to have Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire, a key leader of tourism in St. Lucia, and without him this project wouldn't have happened, so thank you very much for the trust in GPH, and we're honored to have you here. A warm welcome to all business partners, friends, the press, and from all over the world. At GPH, our focus is to build future-ready ports that can adapt to the rapidly evolving landscape of the cruise industry. Ports that not can only handle today's traffic, but also the requirements of the future. We are proud to be the world's largest cruise port operator, with now 33 ports in more than 20 countries in Europe, in Americas, and in Asia. Size matters, in particular when it comes to investments and financing, but it's not just about size. It's the operational expertise and excellence. It's the commitment to quality, and most importantly, the commitment to the destination, the commitment to the local communities and our partners across the world. The cruise industry is growing at a rapid pace. I mean, look around you. This place gets busier every year. It's growing at record speeds, ship size getting bigger and bigger, and cruise itineraries becoming more dynamic. That poses particular requirements to cruise ports, and cruise ports infrastructure in particular needs to evolve. And that's where GPH comes in. We bring in the capital, the expertise, and the collaborative approach with local stakeholders across all 33 ports. Whether it's delivering new terminals, maritime infrastructure, integrating sustainability features, our model is designated to create real and lasting value for all stakeholders. We see cruise ports not just as infrastructure, as financial investments. They're integral parts of the local tourism community, integral parts and gateways into the economic growth of the destination. Before we move into a few examples of investments, just those we launched over the last 12 years, let me give you some perspective. As I said, size matters. We have raised over $1 billion in capital and invested into cruise port infrastructure over the last 10 years. And for our current and only the current destinations in the Caribbean alone would represent over $1 billion in construction investment until 2030. So a few examples, as promised, of what just was achieved over the last 12 months. So I hope this works. So what you see here is the cruise port of Tarragona in Spain, near Barcelona, where we invested into a 2,200 brand new facility, modular, off-site construction, inaugurated in 2024. That's not a current picture. It doesn't look like this. And it's an investment of over 6 million and is welcoming cruise passengers since, almost a year for now. The next one is Alicante, a bit further south in Spain again, an investment modernization of an existing terminal, over $3 million invested, including 70 solar panels for a safe, sustainable terminal building, which again is operating since October last year. And staying in Spain, this is actually a more or less current picture. We are building Europe's largest cruise terminal in Las Palmas and Canary Islands, 14,000 square meter, over 30 million euro investment, and which is slated for welcoming cruise passengers by September this year. We're well on track to open it ahead of the season. Within this region, Antigua Cruise Port, sorry, this is Nassau. I have to Nassau Cruise Port. We have completed over $350 million of transformational investment inaugurated in May 2023, but we're not stopping there. We are, what you see here, an additional construction is a upland development, elevating the passenger experience, a pool and marina investment of over $25 million, which will open later this and early next year. And now, Antigua Cruise Port. Again, these are current pictures of our investment into an upland experience there, over $16 million. We started a couple of months ago and will open in 2 phases later this year and within 2026. I will also like to make one final reference to San Juan Cruise Port, and not going to talk about much about this because we have a dedicated session to San Juan Cruise Port tomorrow at 4 p.m. where you're all invited. So then, without further delay, I hand over to Lance. Please welcome him to the stage to talk about St. Lucia. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much, Jan, and welcome to the Minister. I'd like to say thank you very much for gracing us with your presence, and also Ms. Julien Alfred, our pride and joy of St. Lucia. And I'm also happy that the chairman is right here with us. As we all know, St. Lucia is the gem of the Caribbean, known for its famous Twin Peaks, and more recently, our Olympic medalist who was gracious enough to be here this afternoon as we celebrate St. Lucia's introduction into the GPH family. As Jan mentioned, the project invested is $40 million US and composes 4 key significant areas. As you can see behind me, yes, that is St. Lucia. As you can see behind me, it starts off obviously with improvements to allow port castries to accommodate the Oasis class vessel. It then moves on in improving the walkway from Point Seraphin along the castries waterfront into the city center. It will also incorporate the redevelopment of the vendors arcade on the far left, which is in front of the vessel, and further afield into the undeveloped area down in this area at the top of the screen. It will be transforming this into a fisherman's village for the current fishers who utilize that area. And not only are we investing in the port of Castries, but we are also investing in the port of Soufrière, which is a lovely home to our pitons, as you would have seen from the previous slides. And for that, we are also improving the waterfront. And of course, with GPH's involvement, direct involvement, we were able to save the cruise season in Soufrière this year after the ravages of Hurricane Beryl in June of 2024. The project not only deals with infrastructure, but with also our strategic partnerships with fellow agencies such as the St. Lucia Tourism Association, who is represented here by Mr. Louis Lewis, and also the Community Tourism Agency, which is also represented here by Ms. Dalia Francois. GPH's involvement in St. Lucia allows us to leverage the global reach of the company, not only to enhance our infrastructure, but to enhance the retail opportunities for both locals and visitors alike, providing premium products, services, and fostering a more diverse and vibrant retail environment which will cater to both local and international needs. To date, the project has achieved all permitting from our Development Control Authority, and physical construction is expected to start in May of 2024. Part of that included our demolition of an old, disused customs building. And of course, with that, not just the infrastructure we are tackling, as I previously mentioned, but we are working with all of the stakeholders to ensure that it is done in a holistic manner. True to our name, investing in people, we recently launched the St. Lucia Cruise Sport scholarships for two deserving individuals between the ages of 18 and 25. We are currently accepting applications for St. Lucians, and that is a wonderful opportunity for our youth in St. Lucia. It has no restrictions on the area of study, and it allows you to choose your university either here in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, or any of our University of the West Indies campuses. And we've been receiving tremendous feedback from the youth of St. Lucia with regards to this. This full ride or full scholarship will cover 4 years, a maximum of 4 years of tuition for an undergraduate degree. And I thank the chairman for working with us and delivering that to the people of St. Lucia. I must say, given my role as director for the Eastern Caribbean, it would be remiss of me if I did not involve my sister island of Antigua, where we are working collaboratively to ensure that we have a home port and a capability for luxury cruise lines in the Southern Caribbean, right, Gaspar? This allows us to leverage the dual destinations, and as GPH increases their footprint in the Southern Caribbean, it will also allow us to create itineraries for the cruise execs and the cruise lines coming down to there. And for that, we are most grateful for GPH and the ability to come in. So like I said, our time here today is just more of celebration. It's one where we are proud of what GPH has been able to accomplish in St. Lucia. We are also proud of what they've been able to accomplish in Antigua. And of course, having Miss Alfred win a race with St. Lucia Cruise Sport on her bib recently in Florida was a pride and joy for myself. The Tourism Authority was a little jealous, I must say, Miss Alfred, because they saw our logo, and as the ambassador for St. Lucia, they were telling me I had not informed them that you were, you were running on our behalf, and for that I'm very grateful. So, with that, I'd like to invite you as our tourism ambassador for St. Lucia, that is, and also GPH for St. Lucia, to just say a few words. Nothing big, but I really and truly appreciate that. As the world's fastest woman currently.
Sorry. Wow. Let me first, can everybody hear me properly?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I want to first honor the presence of Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire, Chairman Mr. Kirkman, apologize if I pronounce it the wrong way, CFO Mrs. Fomferrer, General Manager of St. Lucia's Cruise Port and Director of Global Ports Holding, Eastern Caribbean, Mr. Lancelot Arnold. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As a proud national athlete, tourism ambassador of my country, St. Lucia, it fills me with immense pride and joy as my country takes on this new project with Global Ports Holding. A 30-year partnership with St. Lucia's Cruise Port, which won't end until I'm like 54. I see this partnership as a benefit to St. Lucia as a country, for the world to see a hidden gem through St. Lucia experiences cultivated by our hospitable people and unique landscape. This opportunity allows our cultural industry to grow as it enriches the experience for foreigners with the growing demand for a taste of the Helen of the West. This also has a positive impact on our local community as it creates more job opportunities for our local talents to come on board to build infrastructure necessary for this project. This increase in job opportunities also includes the transportation sector, vendors, tour guides, and small business owners, and thus fosters an increase in standard of living for low-to-income owners. The cruise terminal can also be used to promote different investments, opportunities for our St. Lucia entrepreneurs, and further encourage foreign direct investment to stimulate economic growth and development. I am fully confident in St. Lucia's cruise port project in being beneficial to both parties that through the years that we grow in commitment and prosperity with the world's largest independent cruise port operator, Global Ports Holding. I would also like to take the time to thank Global Ports Holding for the contribution to the Julien Alfred Foundation that envisions the prosperity of St. Lucian youth through education and sports. And most importantly, thank you for being a part of St. Lucia's Cruise Port Investment Project. Let her inspire you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Alfred. Words of inspiration. Short and sweet, not as fast as you on the track, but that was good. With this, I would like to invite the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, who, as Jan mentioned, was instrumental in enabling GPH to partner with the government of St. Lucia and the ANC Ports Authority for a 30-year concession, which I'm sure will redound to the benefits of not only the people of St. Lucia, but also the company GPH itself. With that, Dr. Hilaire.
Thank you very much, Lance. Are you going to hear me better without the mic? Huh? I should use it? All right. Well, thank you very much, Lance, and let me recognize the presence of the chairman of GPH, Cutman. Of course, Honorable Julien Alfred, St. Lucia Cross, to recognize her. The chairman of CEO of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, the director of marketing, the chairman of the Community Tourism Agency, and the CEO, although he's here in a different capacity, he's here as manager, I think, of Antigua Cruise Port. I'm not sure he has his minister permission to be here, but anyway. And of course, all specially invited guests, Consul General, Darrell Montrop. I wish to say to you that we are quite pleased that you've all turned out this afternoon to hear about the strategic partnership that has been established between GPH and the government of St. Lucia. For us, it's a very important intervention. The fact is, the cruise industry keeps evolving, keeps changing, and only yesterday we participated in a number of sessions where discussions were held on the changing nature and character of the cruise industry. And it means that a destination like ours needs to constantly change and evolve as well for us to remain relevant. And sometimes it's very easy for someone to ask you, why do you need a partner such as GPH to do what they are doing? And if you understand public financing, there's only so much you can do as a small economy in terms of getting financing for major infrastructural upgrades. We have something we call debt to GDP ratio. and where the IMF and all those global institutions monitor and say to you when you are borrowing too much money and you're now entering into troubled waters. So we have to know exactly what it is we borrow for and where it is important that we create partnerships with the private sector that can bring in the financing that is necessary to ensure that the upgrades can take place. And when we reflected on the developmental needs of our country and what we will need financing for, we saw that there was an avenue and an opportunity for us to link with a private sector interest that can provide the financing that we needed to upgrade the cruise infrastructure in the country. And it was also for us important because in GPH, we saw a partner that was not just involved in infrastructural upgrades at ports, but also had considerable experience in understanding the needs of the cruise passenger and how one should respond to those needs. And therefore, we saw at this present particular moment in our national development, a partnership with GPH was aligned with that aspiration that we had. So with GPH, we've now agreed, and I think Lance explained to you the different components of what we'll be doing. We are excited about the project, and we've been encouraging Lance as much as possible to get started as quickly as possible. And every time I call him and ask him, when are you starting, when are you starting? He would reply, when you give me the approvals, when you give me the approvals. Because of course, at the end of the day, you need to go through all the regulatory approvals, social impact assessment, environmental impact assessment. But we are ready to go, and work has actually started. In fact, next week, Tuesday, we have the official sword turning ceremony to start the project. And I invite all of you to come to St. Lucia next week, Tuesday, for the official start of the project. As Minister of Tourism, I must say that, of course. Invite all of you to the country. But we're really proud. Since our interaction with GPH, we have learned a lot about how we can constantly work at improving the service that we offer. GPH has also worked with us in terms of the products that we'll be putting out. And the government has invested considerable amounts of money to ensure that we create more experiences in the country, more sites, more attractions. So through the Community Tourism Agency, monies are made available through loan and grant to allow local entrepreneurs to enter the tourism industry and to be able to create the products that are needed. Today is probably not the best day for me to go through the long list of products that we will be bringing out over the next couple of years. But I want to say to you, Mr. Chairman, that our relationship has been a very productive one. We know that it is going to be for the better for St. Lucia, and we know that there's a lot that will benefit through this partnership. We hope also that St. Lucia will continue to evolve to become the top-tier destination that it is. I can say to you that in St. Lucia, we're very proud of what we've achieved so far. Last year in 2024, record numbers in terms of our arrivals for stayover tourism. St. Lucia is repeatedly voted as the #1 honeymoon destination in the world. So even more than just cruise tourism, St. Lucia is an ideal location for stayover visitors. And when we complemented with the growth we expect within the cruise tourism, we know that so much more benefit can accrue to our people. The challenge for us is to ensure that all the investments that are made can actually bring benefits directly to the people of St. Lucia. It will not have great worth if with all the investments, we cannot say to our people that we've designed and structured an industry that you, the people, are at the center of it, and you, the people, are benefiting from it. We believe the more our people benefit is the more they will be welcoming, the more they will be hospitable, and the more that they will appreciate the tourism industry for what it is. And from the projects we've agreed to with you, they are all designed to ensure we can bring greater benefit directly to the people of St. Lucia. So I want to give you the assurance that we will continue to work together. We will make sure that those projects are successes and that our people in St. Lucia benefit more. There'll always be talk about whether we sold the ports and we give them away to GPH. I can tell you there's no issue of selling this beautiful piece of real estate. trust me, this is a gift from God. So we're not going to sell it. But we're really proud you'll be managing the cruise services for us and working with us to bring greater benefit to our people. Because I'll tell you a little story. Every time I speak about St. Lucia, I must share part of our history with you. During the colonial wars, Francis Drake, who was one of the greatest admirals in the British Army, actually wrote in one of his journals that when he noticed the French were sailing from Martinique to the north to attack Barbados, he was able to hide his entire navy in the harbor of Castries and watch as they sailed past and then attack them from behind. And one of the reasons why St. Lucia was such a sought-after island during the colonial days was because of this very harbor, that they could have, an entire navy fleet could have been hidden inside there for strategic military reasons. And all along the mountains that surround the harbor, you will find the remnants of the cannons and all the military outposts still existing right to this day. So this is a place of tremendous historical value, and we're really proud we will develop it for the benefit of the people of St. Lucia. So GPH, Chairman Kurt, and all of you, thank you so very much.
But you've been so complimentary, Minister. I say one single, first of all, champion, ladies champion, yes. Alfred? Yes. Yeah, full admiration. I wish I could have run when I was 50 years younger, but it's too late for me. I have very high admiration for really people who go all the way to being Olympic champions. So another round of applause for our champion. Minister, I'll say one thing, and I've been saying this to our team constantly. We are a tenant. The landlord of the places, of all the ports, from, what's the furthest port, Vietnam, going all the way to the Caribbean, we are tenants. The landlord are the people of that town, of that community, of that city, of that country, represented by you. Every 4 years, every 5 years, sometimes too early, every 2 years. So as a result, the community, the people, the citizens have to be happy. So they don't fire you. If they try to fire you, you'll fire us. Okay? So for me, I always say the same thing. Community is number one. The things we've been seeing in St. Lucia, political things, non-political, I don't understand politics. I've seen the same thing happening in other destinations, even in Europe. It happens. But once the community realizes the benefit, and it takes full construction, then their idea change. Now you look, this morning we were talking, I don't know where Mike is, but about Bahama, the hair braiders. They're so happy. They make more money. They have a clean environment. The hairs are braided. People, passengers are more happy. Restaurants are happy. The local. Now they're launching a joint thing, Maya is here, with Straw Market, if I'm not wrong. I've seen also, Straw Market people also is happy. So everybody is happy. Rest assured, I can guarantee you, so long as I live, and that I don't know how long I'll live, for me, the important thing are the local community and the people. So thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. And this brings us to the end of the formal aspect of things this afternoon. I would like to take the opportunity once again to thank everyone for coming out and welcoming St. Lucia to the GPH family. And in doing that, don't run away. Don't run away as quickly as Miss Alfred can. I invite you to the bar. There are some refreshments and food for everyone, so feel free to hang around, ask questions, and we'll be happy to answer any question that you may have. So again, thank you very much.